One of the reasons why the Republican Party really was not affected by the corruption of the Warren G. Harding administration was because of the fact that Calvin Coolidge, the man who succeeded Harding after he died, was an honest man. And in 1924, he receives the nomination as the Republican nominee for President of the United States. He has an unbeatable slogan, keep cool with Coolidge. I mean, nothing comes close. Change we can believe in, make America great again? I don't think so. Keep cool with Coolidge. You can take that to the bank. The Democrats will hold their nomination convention in Madison Square Garden, and they're completely divided between North, South, and West. I know, nothing new, right? But nevertheless, they take 120 times in terms of roll call to get a nomination. And when they finally do, they nominate a guy named John W. Davis. He's just this is the last time you're ever going to hear about him for the most part, right? He's just going to be an unknown politician in a long list of unknown politicians. There will be a progressive candidate by the name of Robert La Follette, a senator from Wisconsin. The Republicans spent the time in the 1924 election basically saying La Follette was a communist and they completely ignored Davis. And the election was so exciting, only just about half of eligible voters bothered to come out. And it was an easy victory for Coolidge. He's president of the United States now for another term, 1925 to 1929. His aspiration, I think, was pretty much for the least working president of the United States, right? I mean, the guy slept 10 to 11 hours at night and took a nap every day. It was also reported he liked to hide and ring the bells and buzzers in his office and get all of his assistants to come in, and they couldn't find him because he was hiding. He was just bored, yet the people loved it. Now, there are things that need to be done. For example, the Republicans are going to have two major policy issues and policy agendas to get their promotion of business. For example, taxes, particularly tariffs. In 1922, the Republican Party is going to actually pass one of the highest tariffs in its history up to that point, the Ford-Mecklenburg tariff. Everything was protected, like reindeer meat. Did you realize there was a domestic reindeer meat industry here in the United States, and it needs to be protected by foreign reindeer meat? I mean, I don't know. I've never seen reindeer meat in my grocery store. How about acorns? What do you do with acorns? I threw them when I was a kid. That's about it, right? Or you try to plant them and grow a tree, right? Well, apparently foreign acorns are a threat to domestic acorns. But nevertheless, I'm getting a little silly. Another area that the Republicans are going to make is going to be tax cuts, right? Tax reduction on the rich, the wealthy. The person that's the architect of this is a guy named Andrew Mellon. Andrew Mellon was a multimillionaire industrialist from Pittsburgh, and he's going to be Secretary of the Treasury during this time period, and he's going to cut taxes on the wealthy, and he's going to cut taxes on large businesses. For example, in 1926, $1 million income paid something like 2/3 less taxes than it did in 1921. The point of it is simple. It's still a policy today. Cut taxes on the rich to enable investment. Now, it's simply the truth. To a point. The key is balance. You see, you need to have a lot of money in the hands of the rich, but you can't have too much money in the hands of the rich, because some of us need that money to buy whatever the rich is producing, right? This is how the capitalist system works. It's simply a matter of balance, and by the 1920s, we're starting to see an imbalance of too much money in the hands of the wealthy and not enough in the hands of everybody else.